one of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the opening of a new session of Parliament just hours away. Also, 2 Bahamas senators sworn in today. And a beloved educator has passed away. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Jamila Mizik. Thank you so much for tuning in. The countdown is on to the opening of a new session of Parliament. The September 16th general election resulting in a change in government, with the Progressive Liberal Party winning 32 of the 39 parliamentary seats. The opening of Parliament is usually a display of pomp and pageantry. Scores of Grand Bahama residents have traveled to the nation's capital to witness the historic event. Our Shoshuna Farquharson and cameraman Quentin Gordon are in New Providence. She tells us the new venue has been strategically planned with safety in mind.
The excitement already starting to build among those who have traveled to the nation's capital to be a part of the historic opening of Parliament that will be held here at the Bahamas Convention Center. Now, in just a matter of hours, many throughout the country who have been invited to attend this event will hear from the Governor General. They will hear that speech from the throne, and then it will be about the government moving on to conduct the people's business. Now, for those who have traveled, they say that they had no choice but to come and show their support.
It's important because Grand Bahama is very much a part of the Bahamas, and we need to be a part of all that's happening. This is an exciting time. It's a new day, and it's part of our democracy. It's good to see the pomp and pageantry of the time.
It was so important for me to come over to this opening. I've never been to an opening before, and this is a great opportunity. This is like the icing on the cake. After all of the hard work, it has paid off, and I am so happy just to be here, so excited. And I can't wait for all of the pageantry and the pomp and pageantry. I just love it.
After putting in all the hard work, it was important for me to come over to see everybody walk into Parliament and to see Parliament open. But I particularly came over for Ginger Moxie because I worked in a campaign. Ginger for the people.
I just wanted, this will be my second time coming. I was there in 2012. And I just wanted to have the experience and support the candidates to Grand Bahama.
Inside the convention center is where we found the leader of government business, who is also responsible for the opening of Parliament. He says there are a number of reasons why the event has been moved to the convention center at Bahamar, from COVID-19 restrictions to expected adverse weather conditions to the demolition of the Churchill building. But the leader of government business and Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, Obie Wilshcombe, says the event will be historic for many reasons.
You're going to see the Prime Minister and his determination to talk about gender equality. You're going to see for the first time we're going to have 2 women, one heading the Senate and one heading the House of Assembly. That's significant in and of itself. And so, again, many things are taking place here, and you're going to see the transformation that's beginning what the new day represents.
Many have traveled to Nassau for the event, and even if they have not been invited, they say they still want to be near the celebration.
It speaks to the Bahamian spirit. It speaks to the fact that we believe that there is always a tomorrow, that we are resilient people, and we will continue to use the avenue of democracy to make changes in our country. They went out, they voted, we did it peacefully, And at the end, the Bahamian people are now anxiously awaiting for the government to state where it's going to take them and how we're going to make changes to the country. But it speaks also to the spirit of the Bahamian people. I've heard, of course, my constituency is in Grand Bahamas, so could you imagine? Many are coming, and many will not be able to get into the room because of the protocol. But I'm sure many will be on the streets and will be able to watch the performance and the processions of the police band and the guard of honor, and when the officials arrive. So therefore, they will be able to participate or see it live on television.
He says that the opening of Parliament has been planned with safety in mind.
With that, we know tomorrow is going to be a crowd. We want to make sure that as best we can, the protocols are adhered to. We want to make sure that it's a smooth flow of into the ballroom, into the various areas where the ceremony will be taking place. We want to make sure that we and the Bahamian people are able to enjoy the moment. But we have a protocol, and it's fundamental to work with the police, and we're asking everyone to work with the police.
Now, 1,200 persons are expected to attend the opening of Parliament tomorrow here at Bahamas Convention Center. 3 of the rooms have been specifically reserved for the purposes of the Senate, for the parliamentarians, and right here where we are, this is where the Governor General is expected to make the speech from the throne. On behalf of my cameraman and editor Quentin Gordon and I, back to you guys in studio.
2 Grand Bahama senators taking the oath of office this morning at the office of the Governor General. James Turner Roll, who ran on the PLP's ticket in East Grand Bahama, and the PLP's candidate for Central Grand Bahama, Kirkland Russell, joined 12 senators who received their instruments of appointment yesterday in the nation's capital during a brief ceremony at the office of the Governor General. Those senators include Lachelle Adderley, Tyrell Young, Barry Griffin, Randy Roll, Ronald C. Duncombe, Darren Pickstock, Dr. Aricia Hepburn, Ruben Ramming, Maxine Seymour, Fiona Gardner, Quintin Lightbourne, and Darren Henfield. Minister of Economic Affairs Senator Michael Halkitis and Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator Ryan Pinder were sworn in last month. Today's swearing-in completes the complement of senators in the upper chamber.
We keep speaking about getting honorable men to do honorable things, and I'm grateful to the PLP, who, under their auspices, I stand here as a senator representing the government. You know, it's another milestone, like I said, for Grand Bahama, because as we restore that island, there are so many elements, so many pieces that need to come together for this puzzle to really become a great picture. So today is a wonderful day for me, but it's a fantastic day for Grand Bahama.
That we are not there to serve ourselves, but we are there to serve the people of this country, and not just be a voice for a few, but be the voice of all the people.
Senators Turner and Russell say that they will lend their voices to long-standing issues impacting the country, but in particular, Grand Bahama.
Bahamas is in my heart, but Grand Bahama is really there. And when we talk about restoration for Grand Bahama, we know tourism is the bedrock of the economy in Grand Bahama. So when we talk about the restoration of hotels, restoration of resorts, and more importantly, opportunities for Grand Bahamians, we got to drive tourism home. I know that the Minister of Tourism, our Deputy Prime Minister, has been to Grand Bahama. We've had some conversations about the restoration for Grand Bahama. And I got to tell you that I am excited and I am enthusiastic about what I see ahead. I see a group of individuals that are committed to working to make sure it happens. We know that we had some guys of the past who wished that it happened, but for some reason the work just didn't match up to the wish. This time I believe we have the desire to make sure that Grand Bahama returns to what once was, a fantastic island.
I want to stress that as a government, we must put serious emphasis and serious focus on the social ills of Grand Bahama, and particularly poverty, homelessness, you know, persons who are not working, persons who have been unemployed, unable to find job, you know, persons are unable to satisfactorily take care of their kids as it relates to simple food. you know, and those kind of thing. And so we must sincerely be our brother's keeper.
The former MP for North Abaco is one of 4 Free National Movement senators sworn in yesterday. Tonight, our Megan Shepherd speaks with Senator Darren Henfield, who says he views it as another avenue to contribute to national service.
Former Member of Parliament for North Abaco and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Darren Henfield, will now serve in the upper chamber as a senator. He says that he is honored to serve in this new capacity and is grateful for the confidence displayed in him. He adds that this appointment will allow him to continue to lend his hand in nation building.
The Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Minnis, indicated yesterday in his brief remarks that we're not going to oppose just for opposing's sake, but with objectivity toward making life better for the Bahamian people. I also believe that our policies, whilst in office, are worth defending. We moved, I think, expeditiously in education. Our finances are stable despite the twin catastrophic events of Dorian and COVID. We tried to move small businesses ahead. We tried to give young Bahamians an opportunity to own their own homes. I think we did a lot of work. We put passport offices on several islands that didn't have them before. And so I'll see what the future holds.
And as to what he would like that future to look like.
I'd like to see young Bahamians given an opportunity to have their own homes. That's a program that we started. That we tried to continue with the service lot policies that we had. Affordable housing for young people. I'd also like to see passport offices in more remote islands in the country. I'd like to see BTVI and UB become as accessible as we tried to make them for young Bahamians who are qualified to attend. I'd like to see young Bahamians in their own businesses. That's the kind of things that we'd like to see.
Senator Henfield says that he remains grateful to the residents of Abaco, particularly the constituency of North Abaco.
I love and appreciate the people of North Abaco who gave me this opportunity as a novice politician to come into politics and to serve at the cabinet level where I did. And I thank God for the opportunity and the privilege to serve them.
Megan Shepherd, ZNS Network News.
As we celebrate World Teachers Day here on Grand Bahama, those in the education profession are mourning the loss of an outstanding educator who made an invaluable contribution to the public school system in the country. Educators extending their heartfelt condolences as they remember the life and legacy of veteran educator and District Education Officer Sheila Scavala. District Superintendent Ivan Butler noting that they are saddened by the passing of their colleague who devoted more than 40 years in education.
Today, we pause to reflect on some of her many accomplishments. She would have taught in Eleuthera, New Providence, and specifically in Grand Bahama, several schools, Walter Parker, Lewis Yard, Maurice Moore. And so this giant of an educator will definitely be missed. She not only taught many of students, she was very instrumental in the tertiary institutes in the evening, and she would have impacted the lives of children as well as their parents. And so we are truly saddened by her loss, and she will definitely be missed.
Alcina Duncombe recalls knowing Scavala since childhood. She remembers her as being a devout Anglican.
She attended St. Barnabas Church when she was in Nassau with her Gaudi. She attended St. Barnabas Church regularly, and even in adulthood, when we met again here in Freeport, nothing had changed. She was always devoted to her religion, and I remember that very, very vividly about her strong faith in God and him being able to take care of her.
Duncombe adding that she was always impressed by Scavala's work ethic.
She was someone who respected your time, and she respected deadlines. She was the one principal in this district who, without a complaint, whenever you requested anything, she sent that to you on time and had it copied to the district superintendent and every place else, to the Ministry of Education in Nassau, wherever else that needed to go. She had it copied and it was done correctly. She was the only principal that did it. It wasn't the day after or a month after or whatever. She respected your time.
District Education Officer Keith Barr says, although they've only worked together for a short time, he's appreciative for their collaboration and her lasting impact.
Her professional responsibilities, she carried out almost consummately, like immaculate. So being able to set the example for the young administrators, the principals and administrators at the school, I think she did an excellent job of showing them how important it is to be able to get the information out in a timely manner and to be able to cooperate and to it's an expression of yourself, as a professional. I think she did an excellent job of being able to convey that.
Edna Gomez says Cavallo would always encourage and support her and says she will be remembered as a consummate professional.
And we worked with Spelling Bee, and she had everything laid out. You had no choice but to be prepared. She had everything organized the way she wanted it, and she kind of encouraged me, to carry it out that way. And I really appreciated my time with her. I will miss her. I take with me everything that she would have imparted to me, and I would just like to say, may her soul rest in peace.
District Education Officer Sheila Scavala recently retired. She passed away on October 3rd at the age of 65. In other news, police are reporting tonight that missing teen Mariah Culmer has been found. The 15-year-old was discovered at a home in Pine Forest subdivision in 8 Mile Rock in good physical health. An adult male was also taken into custody. Police say Culmer had been missing since September 21st. Meantime, the search continues for 26-year-old Gabrielle St. Michael Frith of number 10B Gladstone Terrace. Frith, wanted for armed robbery, is described as 6 feet 4 inches tall, 195 pounds, dark brown complexion, slim build with dark brown eyes, and plaits in his hair. If you have any information on Gabrielle St. Michael Frith, wanted for armed robbery, you are asked to contact police at 350-3109 or 350-3106 or call your nearest police station. You're watching the Northern Edition. Stay with us.
Come on down now. Treat large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear hard hats, steel-toe boots, and climbing belts. They don't prowl the streets at night looking for the bad boys. They're the good guys, saving us during our darkest hours, putting their lives on the line every day to make ours brighter. They're the ones you call because you know they'll be there every time. It's not easy being a hero. Sometimes they're painted as the villain. But if there's one thing all heroes have in common, is that they don't give up. They're always fair, focused on helping those in need. Because for those heroes, it's more than a job, it's a duty. Some people try to be heroes, others just are. At Grand Bahama Power Company, we are proud to know a few heroes, always there for you.
Hammers and wrenches and drills, oh my. Do-It Center carries a large variety of housewares, power tools, plumbing and electrical, hardware and paint. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at the Gold Rock Complex. Everything to complete that job this season.
Seize the opportunity to be featured in Esquire's 2022 calendar. Send a photo of you outfitted in your Esquire attire by October 15th or WhatsApp them at 727-6367.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The community-based conch management project relaunching its conch farming initiative in East Grants, Bahamas. Organizers say the aim is to have conch fishers engage in a robust program which creates sustainable markets for conch products. In addition, they say it is a wonderful opportunity for residents of McLeanstown and Sweetings Key to increase their revenue, help the environment, and also the economy. Romiko Knowles reports.
The community-based conch management project in East Grand Bahama is funded by the Interdevelopment Bank and led by the Bahamas National Trust. Science officer within the Bahamas National Trust and project manager Joel Benaby says one of the main goals of this project is to improve the livelihood of fishers in East Grand Bahama.
So conch fishers and their communities will be provided with increased skills and capacity to market value-added conch products and, of course, alternative livelihoods. The second goal of this project is to establish community-based management of conch within a marine protected area. So conch fishers and communities will have increased capacity to manage their conch fish and marine areas responsibly. And then the third component of this project is creating a domestic market for responsibly fished conch through seed to sale traceability and, of course, local branding.
Benaby notes that conch is an important source of income for Bahamian communities and it is a staple in the Bahamian diet.
It's very important to our cultural identity, and this resource contributes to the food security for economically challenged fishing communities throughout the Bahamas. Overfishing, of course, and particularly of juveniles, undermine the sustainability of conch fisheries throughout the country. Low population levels have the conch fishing economically unviable for many fishers, and of course, natural disasters like tropical storms actually pose a risk for the resilience of fishers. So in general, consumers are uninformed of the severity of the resource depletion.
She invites residents of the Eastern community to participate in community meetings on October 6th, beginning at 5 p.m. at St. Michael's Church on Sweetings Key and on October 7th at St. Matthew Baptist Church. In addition, she is welcoming residents to participate in the Fisherman Exchange and the conch farming training.
So it'll be great to have people come out and just hear about the project, get information, and participate so that they can be most informed and up to date on this wonderful project that will bring lots of opportunity to the East Grand Bahama community.
Romiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, that's going to do it for this portion of the news, but stay tuned for a check on sports with our Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to Sports. The Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, making his first official trip to Grand Bahama since being appointed. He says that sports tourism is high on the agenda. Romiko Knowles has more.
It was a busy day for the newly elected sports minister. The Honorable Mario Boleg, along with several others from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, met with staffers in Grand Bahama. Boleg says he intends to unify the sporting bodies throughout the country by establishing advisory councils.
Sports is a business. Culture is a business. That's why when you talk about the orange economy and the creatives we want to do under this administration, we want to have not just the people who has the know-how in these industries as far as culture and sports, but we want the business-minded people to come along with us and help make decisions. And you will see the difference, I assure you, in the next 4 years. You will see a great change in the impact that sports and culture will bring to this economy.
The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, accompanying Boleg as he toured the sporting facility.
Youth, sports and culture, especially sports, culture, the creative industry, the music industry, we have been devastated, really. And so we are so happy that we have a Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture who has made it a point to come to Grand Bahama Island so early to be able to communicate with his staff and to see the facilities and what we're challenged with on the island.
And as it relates to the nation's youth, Boleg says they are the heartbeat of his department.
Young people wants to feel that they are empowered and a part of the plan and the process of the progressive progress of this country. And we must put programs in place to ensure that they feel a part of it.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Total Sports.
Switching gears now in the WNBA, Jonquel Jones and her Connecticut Sun on the brink of elimination in the WNBA semifinals, best-of-5 series against the 6th-seeded Chicago Sky. Her Sun lost Game 3 on the road to the Sky, 83-86 on Sunday night. Now Jonquel Jones, this season's league's MVP, finished with 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks after being held to just 4 points in the Sun's 79-68 Game 2 victory. Game 4 is set for Wednesday night. It's win or go home for the Sun. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
It's Bark & Shop's National Heroes Day sale, 25% off store-wide, excluding underwear and red tag items, October 7th, 8th, and the 9th.
Transparency, honesty,
and accountability are what you deserve.
You deserve a smarter grid.
With meters that show you where your energy is going.
A modernized grid that share all the data and allow us to proactively address the issues. A resilient grid that notifies us the instant your service is disrupted. You deserve the highest standard of service.
With a smarter grid and modern infrastructure. This is why advanced metering infrastructure
is here.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
The Ministry of Health is working to ensure the safety of the Bahamian people. Help us minimize the risk that coronavirus poses to citizens, residents, and visitors by following these 5 easy steps. Step 1. Wet your hands with clean water, apply soap and lather for 20 seconds by rubbing them together. Include the top of your hands between your fingers and under your fingernails. Rinse your hands under clean water, then dry them with a paper towel or air dry them. Remember to wash your hands before and after eating, preparing a meal, changing a diaper, or caring for the sick, and always after using the bathroom, touching money, shaking hands, or taking out the trash. Step 2. Cough and sneeze in your elbow or upper sleeve, not in your hands, not in the air. Or you can cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Put your used tissue in the trash bin when you are finished. Remember to wash your hands with soap and clean water after you cough or sneeze. Also, remember never to spit on the ground, roads, or in open spaces. Step 3. Ensure that raw meat is properly handled and cooked thoroughly. Step 4. Avoid sharing drinking glasses, eating utensils like spoons and forks, or sharing personal items such as toothbrushes and towels. Germs can live on surfaces we touch, so wipe and disinfect surfaces where germs can live, and keep your surroundings clean. Step 5. Avoid close contact with anyone showing symptoms of respiratory illness, such as coughing or sneezing. Should you or anyone you know feel that you have been exposed to the coronavirus, contact the surveillance unit of the Ministry of Health immediately. To reach us, call 502-4776, 502-4790, or 502-4737. We want Bahamians and those that live with and visit us to remain safe from the coronavirus. To do this, we need the help of each and every one of you to follow the simple steps we have shared. Let's stay safe, Bahamas.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend of the day is Devin Lightborn. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jamila Missick. Thank you so much for joining us. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, a review of the recent promotions of hundreds of civil servants. COVID blamed for a widening deficit. Repatriations resume following a mass conviction. And the embattled Commissioner of Prisons fights back. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. In just a matter of hours, the opening of Parliament will take place, marking the formal start of the parliamentary year. As widely reported, the historic ceremony will this year break tradition and take place indoors at the Bahamas Convention Center. Still, Chief Clerk of Parliament David Forbes says all the ceremonial trappings will still take place.
Everything that we normally do traditionally is going to be done at Bahamas. We are creating a chamber for the House of Assembly down there, and we're creating a chamber for the Senate down there. And the speech from the throne by the Governor General will be held in the main ballroom of the Convention Center. So all of the pomp and pageantry is going to be in place. There's nothing that we would normally do that we're going to leave out of the program.
Forbes also gave some insight into the much anticipated speech from the throne to be read by the Governor General.
Every speech from the throne, the government will lay out its policies, its fiscal policies in particular, until the prorogation or dissolution of the next parliament. I don't know what will be the approach that the new administration is going to take, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's what the speech from the throne is really setting up the government's policies until the next session of Parliament.
Well, meanwhile, the new administration's giving hundreds of pre-election promotions and hires a second look. The Minister of State for the Public Service today briefed the media on what stage they are at in that review. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
The Ministry of Public Services put a hold on more than 500 promotions and hirings as officials carry out assessments. Minister of State for the Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, says it is nothing peculiar, but as with any new administration, government is examining what occurred over the last 6 to 8 weeks.
I am making an assessment in the shortest possible time. I'm working very hard to make sure that the assessments are done in a fair time because obviously persons are waiting. It's not our intention to disenfranchise. We have to make sure that policy is being conformed to. We have to make sure that these promotions are being issued on merit. And of course, we also want to I continue to say that we want to consider that we make sure that our personnel is not disenfranchised by a long wait.
This comes as both the management and union representing line staff at the Water and Sewerage Corporation expressed concern about promotions issued in the run-up to the September 16th general election. Glover-Roll says aside from a review of the promotions, government must address the backlog that has existed for years.
We need to see the processes that we're going to put in place that will eliminate the backlog for future. People put in the work in the public service, so we want to make sure that we're duly compensating them and providing the rewards that are necessary.
Having assessed her ministry, Glover Rose says the public service must be brought into the 21st century to promote greater efficiency.
A lot of the holdup in the process is, of course, waiting for paper files, trying to locate them, and then the process of going through them. In our former administration, we began a process of digitization of files. That was halted in 2017. We are seeking to advance that process again. It was almost done.
As for the program introduced by the Minister administration to attract top college scholars into the public service, the Minister of State says government recognizes its value and may work to improve it.
Simply because we understand that every year there's a large number of young people that would move into the workforce. And as a government, we always want to make sure that we're providing a succession planning mode, which means we have to engage our young people. So at this time, upon review, it doesn't seem like that program is something that we would cease.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
The Prime Minister is defending his decision to appoint former Cabinet Minister Jerome Fitzgerald as a senior policy advisor.
I'm looking for the best and brightest amongst us to help me carry through the big changes I have for this country. He's one person I have some confidence in to be able to help me deliver that.
Now, when asked whether he plans to follow through with an inquiry into deaths resulting from Hurricane Dorian, here's what he told reporters.
I was very careful. I called for the inquiry, and as I speak, I have a former permanent secretary of the government giving me an assessment of what he sees in relation to the consequences of Hurricane Dorian and where we are with the recovery asset. I'm waiting for that report. Once I get that report, I'll know whether I do have to have an inquiry or not.
The unrelenting economic pressure of the COVID-19 pandemic, coupled with its social welfare initiatives, has led to the deficit jumping by $563.3 million, or a staggering 66.1%. And based on preliminary data the central banks compiled, contributing to the growth, a $322.1 million increase in expenditure compared to a $214.2 million revenue contraction. Now, if we were to take a closer look at those expenditures, figures show that during the period under review, social assistance benefits more than doubled to $403 million from $188 million the year prior. Topping the list of big-ticket expenses, ongoing unemployment and food assistance programs. Along with that, interest payments grew by $77.7 million, or 22.5%, while spending on goods and services swelled by 43.7%. Furthermore, subsidies and other payments, including current transfers and insurance premiums, climbed by $42.2 million and $14.1 million, respectively. Offsetting this, a modest drop in the money given to compensate employees. The central bank's reporting that this was reduced by $65.5 million. Now, as for revenue, still a reduction there following a $138 million decline in VAT collections, largely due to the contraction in economic activity, inflows from taxes on international trade falling by $176.3 million, and reductions in financial and realty stamp taxes gaming receipts. Well, some 4,000 beneficiaries of the food distribution program have been added to the Department of Social Services list. And Minister of Social Services and Urban Development, the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, expects that number to grow. The food distribution program, run by the National Food Distribution Task Force, recently ended. Wilchcombe says the new Ministry of Social Services is putting together a program and no one will be left out.
The reality is that if Bahamians are hurting, we're not going to leave anybody behind. We're going to go after taking care of the Bahamian people. We've got to cut some costs some places. In fact, we've discovered where we're renting buildings that we're not even into the buildings in social services. We've been renting since 2018 facilities that's costing millions of dollars, but we're not in the buildings. So, we're going to cut back. We're going to look at exactly what's going on and we're going to fix it. But no Bahamian is going to be left behind in what we're trying to do.
Wilchcombe suggested money was not used as efficiently as it could have been during the task force's feeding initiative, but conceded that in moments of desperation, that's the avenue the former administration went. He says the feeding efforts of social services was being duplicated.
I think that they did meet a need. I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that, well, when you're spending $10 million in 2 months, that's a lot of money to be spending. When you should be seeking out other markets to find better prices. It's just about trying to find supplies at a better cost. And if you could reduce the cost and provide the needs, then I think that you're meeting what's required. But at the end of the day, they did what they had to do at that particular time. I think it was a large amount of money to be spending, and I believe that more people could be satisfied with that amount of money.
While still to come, the National Security Minister talks about the possibility of a new corrections compound and repatriations to resume.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our Superfast Fiber Internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Since eating at KFC, Trevor became the value hunter. Get a KFC fill-up with one-piece tender, juicy chicken, a hot buttery biscuit, golden brown fries, and a soda for only $5, including VAT, and save like an expert at KFC. WhatsApp HI to 557-3663 to start your order for pickup at your nearest KFC.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
While it's encouraging that the national COVID-19 vaccine rollout is going successfully, it's not the only precaution to reduce the spread of the virus in our communities. It's important to continue practicing safety protocols because it is our social responsibility to protect ourselves and to protect others.
Wash your hands for a friend with a weaker immune system.
Only read and share information from trusted sources to avoid unnecessary panic.
I'm gonna need y'all to avoid these large crowds. We could have loved ones at home who have underlying health conditions. Do it.
Practicing safety protocols is an act of brotherly and sisterly love.
The life you save may just be yours as well as your neighbor.
Together we will win.
We will win.
Don't wait. Get vaccinated today.
news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Commissioner of Prisons Charles Murphy is not taking the decision to have him placed on administrative leave lightly. You may recall the contents of a release Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, issued last week, accusing Murphy of breaching prison rules, including placing a positive COVID-19 inmate in a cell with 3 others. While the embattled prison commissioner has since hired attorney Ramona Farquharson Seymour, who says her client was not allowed due process and that the letter advising him on immediate leave gave no indication of wrongdoing.
You can see from this letter, which advises him of administrative leave immediately, there are no grounds listed here. No reasons for this type of action. The duration of the leave is not there. When would he be given an opportunity to speak for due process? Likewise, again, nothing.
Well, our news team reached out to the National Security Minister for a response. Minister Munro noted that Murphy's attorney has filed no process. As for hope that the matter will be resolved internally, thus avoiding legal action, he referred to the reason for Murphy's administrative leave. Well, in related news, Minister Munro confirmed he's aware of the proposal to construct a new facility at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. Here's what he shared with the media following a tour of facilities at the police force headquarters on Monday.
I've been briefed on some work about the construction of, I think it's a new medium security facility. I've been quite open to say that I was a member of the Parole and Reentry Committee that reported in 2017, whose report was put on a shelf and not worked on. The report spoke to one of the main objectives being to reduce the volume of imprisonment that the Bahamas undertakes. We imprison people, I think, at 10 times the rate of all of our neighbors, and that would affect the need for prison facilities.
Now, should they opt to build the new facility, Minister Munro insists several factors be considered.
So to my view, it should be a dual approach. One, addressing who you send to prison, why you send them to prison, the length of time you send them to prison, and improving the facilities that are there and the rehabilitative services that are there, the correctional services that are there, because they will come out of prison. And you better be concerned about what their mindsets are, what their abilities are when they are released, as they're bound to be released.
No Haitian migrants were repatriated on Monday, but Minister of Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, says hundreds were convicted and will be returned home.
We had in excess of another 430 migrants who were apprehended. That is the remaining immigrants, the Haitian nationals who were on the Lawrence Major. To date, the Chief Magistrate, along with her assistant, Shaka Seville, they've tried all of the male migrants. That's 294 males. There are 73 females, and they're in the process of trying those persons. They have already found them guilty and ordered their immediate repatriation. In addition to that, there are 63 children, and we anticipate that we should hear from Haiti, if not today, tomorrow, in respect to obtaining permission to repatriate those persons. And if we hear from them today, then repatriation should commence tomorrow, if not no later than Thursday.
The minister adds that officials have not yet tabulated the cost of the ongoing repatriation, but suggests it could be several $100,000. He also provided insight into the current situation on Inagua.
As it currently stands, the numbers when we first started, you knew we had over 1,000. Since the first set of repatriation, we still have the 2 holding facilities. There is no overcrowding, there's no issues of housing concern, no issues of food, shelter, water, nothing. All of that has been addressed, and as I indicated, as soon as we get the permission from Haiti, they will be repatriated. And so we anticipate this week that there would be no issues as it relates to Inagua.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This Wednesday, October 6th at 9 a.m., tune into the ZNS Network for live coverage of the opening of Parliament. Find out about the government's policies, objectives, and its legislative agenda for the new session. This year's event will be held at the Bahamas Convention Center on Cable Beach. That's the opening of Parliament, Wednesday, October 6th. Live coverage begins at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
How's your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
That's why we got the... We elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, one of the things we've learned is that the way we clean and sanitize are crucial components in mitigating against the spread of this virus. Ultimate Cleaning Solutions. This is one of the places that BTC is featuring as a part of our Small Businesses Month, is your one-stop shopping for all your essential cleaning needs.
Ultimate Cleaning Solutions is a company where we clean and sanitize. We started off 20 years ago as a cleaning company and expanded over the years, where we became distributors for 2 of the top hand sanitizer brands, Perel and Chemtron, and also a distributor for Victoria Bay. We offer services such as fogging, air condition care, dispensers installation and replacement, such as hand sanitizer dispensers, hand soap dispensers, hand towel dispensers, and many more. We also offer carpet cleaning, mold remediation, water extraction, fire and smoke restoration, as well as residential and commercial cleaning. For more information, feel free to stop by either one of our locations, Ultimate Cleaning Solutions, Madera Street opposite Hardin's Locksmith, or Ultimate Cleaning Solutions, Wolf Road next to Hardin's Food Store. BTC provides us with fast and reliable services such as internet and telephone that keeps us connected with our customers. Thank you, BTC.
So it's everything that you need to keep your home and your businesses safe. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corbell Pye from Be Well, and be back here next, BTC Connection.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Shell
Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
The Bahamas today joins the rest of the world in celebrating teachers for the work they do in nation building. With a message, here's Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin.
Our teachers are amongst our true nation builders. Their skill, their energy, their love and sacrifice have shaped lives, stimulated the development of human potential, and have helped to forge the future of a people. It is absolutely necessary, therefore, that we as a nation understand and appreciate the important role of our teachers and the role they play in the qualitative and positive progress of our national development.
World Teachers Day comes at a time when the global community is still grappling with the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the minister, this year's theme, Teachers at the Heart of Education Recovery, catches our experience as we face tremendous challenges relating to the access and delivery of education to the nation's youth.
Before a pandemic, there was natural disaster, Hurricane Dorian, which wrought both human and physical loss, particularly on the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. Not long afterwards, we faced and continue to face the ravages of a relentless COVID-19 pandemic. These phenomena have had a hugely disruptive impact on the educational process of this nation. In the face of the enormity of these challenges, our teachers have been true champions, demonstrating responsiveness, resiliency, and quick adaptation to technological change so as to provide continuity of education in the Bahamas.
The Bahamas Pavilion Expo 2020, underway in Dubai, the United Emirates, has caught the eye of the world. The rich cultural showcase opened on October 1st, giving visitors and investors a taste of what the island chain has to offer. Our Kelsey Johnson caught up with the Bahamas ambassador, Tony Jody.
The popular saying Bahamas to the world best describes the rich cultural and investment explosion that's on display at the Expo 2020 in Dubai, United Emirates. The world's largest fair, which opened 4 days ago, shows our country's strength through sustainability and mobility to the more than 190 participating countries and visitors. Bahamian ambassador and commissioner for the Expo, Tony Jody, explains the importance of highlighting the country's ability to sustain itself and how quickly the Bahamas is able to mobilize when disaster strikes.
How we sustain our livelihood back in a country where have been hit with always practically by hurricanes and destruction and all of that stuff. So how it affects our tourism, our income and our livelihood. So we've chosen the sustainability to prove the resilience of the Bahamian people when it comes to disasters and lack of sustainability of other things.
The Expo is just 45 minutes from the cities of Dubai and Abu Dhabi. It is twice the size of Paradise Island. The Bahamas is housed in a 75-square-foot, two-story building. On the ground floor, various arts and crafts and products authentically made in the Bahamas for the world to see and buy.
We call it the exhibition level. We also tell the story of our country and how, not just the resilience, how we survived over the years and were able to maintain our integrity and our livelihood for the future generations, because we are giving a lesson to our youth who's gonna benefit at the end of the day and who's gonna lead the country in the directions that is needed to be directed. She is an expert, and she will tell the story as people go into tunnels, and these tunnels will have what we call all the videos and all the photos and all the scenes people could watch and listen what's happening about Atlantis, about other islands, Cat Island, Long Island, and all the other islands, Nassau, of course, and Andros.
The Bahamas Pavilion now open in Dubai for the world to see.
Well, once again, that reporting. The fastest man in the world in sports, Bahamian Stephen Gardner's teamed up with BTC executives for what's anticipated to be a win-win situation. Signing on the dotted line for a one-year, $100,000 contract, Gardner is now an ambassador for the telecommunications giant. For the next year, he'll promote the company's broadband campaign of better speed, expanding BTC's network. BTC has for decades financially contributed to the development of athletes, and its commitment, Chief Executive Officer of BTC, Andre Foster, maintains will not change anytime soon, as the world's fastest man and BTC could only lead to another gold medal. And Gardner agrees.
Absolutely a very proud moment for us at BTC. October 5th marks exactly 2 months since Stevie crossed that finish line first, making history as the first Bahamian to win an individual men's event in the Olympics, bringing home the gold, the 400-meter gold for the Bahamas, and heralding the first gold medal for the Bahamas for the 2020 Olympics. His victory has certainly rejuvenated a lot of hope and faith in what we can do as a country. And certainly here within BTC, we see this partnership as being key as we continue to elevate our network and grow the strength of our broadband services, as well as our other services that we serve in our communities.
So excited to be here and for the partnership here with BTC. It's no secret, one of my main reasons to being here with BTC, because BTC cares about sports, you know? I remember the Correctional Games, my first Correctional Games in 2014. BTC were a sponsor. My first Olympic team, 2016. BTC, Basketball Federation, all the sports, BTC of course. And I just want to come on board and keep the spirit going.
Well, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Bolag, and President of the Bahamas Olympic Association, Romel Knowles, thanked BTC as a continued corporate donor partnering in the development of athletes.
Your support of sporting events such as the Correctional Games, World Relays, and of course our athletes are of particular note and indeed very much appreciated. It is through partnerships and donations such as yours which have created opportunities for our athletes and the country to shine above the rest. We know Mr. Gardner will represent well.
And that's what sports about. It's equal opportunity for those that are dedicated to sports. All you have to do is watch Stephen's Facebook page, and you'll see just how dedicated he is and how passionate he is for sports. And I can tell you that the values that Stephen carries and the values at BTC is a match made in heaven. I want to congratulate BTC and Stephen, of course, on behalf of the Bahamas Olympic Committee. We are pleased for these sponsorship and keep them coming.
The media fraternity mourning the loss of another one of its own. Editor, publisher, and owner of local tabloid The Punch for the past 31 years, Ivan Johnson, died last evening. He was 68. In a release, Johnson's sisters, Felicity, Janet, and Jill, mourned his passing but gave thanks for the rich legacy of a man they say revolutionized journalism in the Bahamas after training with the best on Fleet Street and launching Murdoch papers in Australia. Ivan said the sisters had the common touch, and the immediate sympathies on his death from people of every walk of life is a testimony to his jovial, friendly, and kind spirit and his fearlessness in reporting the story, adding that his unexpected passing will leave a vast void in the field of journalism in the Bahamas. Bahamas Press Club President Anthony Capron says Johnson will long be remembered in journalism after many others have been forgotten and will be sadly missed. Johnson received the Bahamas Press Club's Pioneer Award back in 2018.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Rainbow evaporated milk, large, 2 for 99 cents. Super Beet sardines, 3.7 ounce, 79 cents. Super Value purified water, 1 gallon, $1.39. Sweet Gala apples, 3 for 89 cents. Ground turkey, 99 cents per pound. These specials fit perfectly in the handy tote bags, 2 for only $3 at Super Value and quality supermarkets. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Super Value and quality supermarkets.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are, where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
This Wednesday, October 6th at 9 a.m., tune into the ZNS Network for live coverage of the opening of Parliament. Find out about the government's policies, objectives, and its legislative agenda for the new session. This year's event will be held at the Bahamas Convention Center on Cable Beach. That's the opening of Parliament, Wednesday, October 6th. Live coverage begins at 9 a.m. right here on the ZNS Network.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bonami.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rajesh Pahawa.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jazreel Thompson.
Infectious diseases physician.
I'm radiologist at Doctor's Hospital.
An anesthesiologist here at Doctor's Hospital.
And I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID.
I'm fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
Are you?
Are you?
Are you?
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Abuse increases during a crisis. The physical, mental, and social issues that emerge from abuse affect us individually and as a community. Though meant to protect us, distancing measures can increase the risk of women and children to being abused. The lack of physical contact with loved ones and limited access to support services can increase a woman's risk of being abused. Abusers who drink frequently can be dangerous to women and children. If you've experienced abuse, contact a trusted friend or relative. Develop a safety plan. Choose a trusted person that can help get you to safety. Keep a to-go bag packed with important documents, medication, money, and other essentials. If you or a loved one are experiencing abuse, contact the Bahamas Crisis Center or the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You can also contact us at 819-7652 or 812-0576.
It is important to take precautions to reduce your risk of getting infected with COVID-19, even when you go to the grocery store. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others. While you wait in line to enter the store, one person per household needs to go. Use wipes to disinfect the cart or basket handle that you select. Avoid touching your face, unnecessary items, and surfaces. Try to touch only what you are buying. So carry a grocery list to help you move along quickly. Do not forget to wear a cloth mask while you do your shopping and carry hand sanitizer with you. Practice physical distancing that is 6 feet apart from others. As you shop, and at the cash register. Spend as little time as possible in the store and get enough groceries to last you for a while. Once your groceries are packed and loaded, use hand sanitizer and rub your hands together until they are completely dry. When you come home from the grocery store, take off your shoes at the door and put all of your grocery bags in one area. Disinfect your grocery bags. Rinse produce and wipe down cans and packages with soap and water before you put them away. Wash your hands thoroughly for 20 seconds when you are done. Wash your clothes and your reusable grocery bags.
This message has been brought to you by the Ministry of Health in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Construction on the former Matlows Key, now Montage Key development is slated to begin next year, providing employment and an economic boost for the Abacos. The $352.2 million development project, announced by former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis during the budget debate, will reportedly create up to 250 full-time jobs and some 2,970 jobs during construction. President of Sterling Global Advisory, Kalis Roll, says they have engaged successful global brand Montage Hotels International.
The project is going extremely well. We're still finalizing all of the planning. Most of the design work has been done, and we're hoping to begin horizontal construction in the first quarter of next year. Yeah. So it's on track, and it's an exciting project. You know, we're very excited about it, and we know that the Abacos will benefit greatly from that. And we have one of the parliamentary representatives from Abaco here, so I know he is very excited to see that project come out of the ground and create some employment.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Thank you, Makisha. Outside of our studios, we are under partly sunny skies. Temperature 84 degrees. The relative humidity 69%. We have north-northwest winds at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,014.6 millibars. It's 29.96 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 83 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll, Key, and Marsh Harbor. In the Berry Islands, 85. Also in Alistown, Bimini, 85 again in Harbor Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, Black Point, Exuma, 87, Kemp Space, St. Andros, 87, Fresh Creek, and Central Andros have a temperature of 85 degrees. San Salvador and Rum Key, 85, 87 in Georgetown, Exuma, Ragged Island, Clarence Island, Long Island, and Crooked Island, 83, Betsy Bay, Maguana, 87, Acklands, 87, Matthew Town, Inagua, 86 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 87. And now for your boating forecast brought to you by Builders Ball, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, easterly winds and speeds down 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide takes place at 7:47. In the central Bahamas, southeast winds, speeds 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean with caution flags up. In the southeast Bahamas, your winds are also going to be southeast, a little stronger, 15 to 20 knots. The wave heights 4 to 7 feet. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday through Thursday, the winds are going to be southeast at 10 to 15. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide at 8:11 in the morning. Low tide takes place at 2:30 in the afternoon. For the Central Islands on Wednesday through Thursday, southeast winds once again at 12 to 18 knots and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. In the southeast, we have that persistent southeast component at 15 to 20 and the wave heights 4 to 7 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I come from the gutter. I didn't seek it, get you freeze in the summer. Mama used to say, baby boy, don't you stop. Continue to fight. Forgive them peace and love, and everything will be all right.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Hi, my name is Patrick Ward, and I want to talk to you about financial resiliency.
Financial resilience is the ability to withstand and recover from temporary financial hardship and disruptions.
I'm in the insurance business here in the Bahamas and in Cayman, and in our business, we've really seen the benefit of being able to plan and be disciplined about that process, and it has helped our business, both in regards to what happened during Dorian, and more recently as a result of the pandemic and the impact it has had both in Cayman and the Bahamas. So my first tip to you about financial resilience is to make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you're disciplined about putting that plan in place. You're not going to be able to account for every considerable variable that takes place, but having a strong plan in place gives you an advantage and helps you to prepare for the unseen and the things that are outside of your control. And that leads me to my tip number 2. I'd encourage you to seek out the advice of a professional in the insurance field. Insurance can be helpful both in terms of protecting the assets that you currently own from loss or damage. And secondly, insurance can be used to facilitate wealth transfer from one generation to the next. But planning can actually help us to weather through those events, and particularly if we're disciplined about following through on the things that we want to see happen in the future. This, assisted by proper insurance planning, can actually propel you to a place that gives you a lot more certainty about the current environment and certainty about the future outcomes.
This message was brought to you by the Securities Commission of the Bahamas.
Best rate, no debate. Best rate, no debate.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no debate. Best rate, no debate.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
The Ministry of Health wishes to advise members of the public that prevention is key during this flu season. Practicing good cough hygiene can make the difference between you and your loved ones getting the flu or spreading the influenza virus. Good cough hygiene habits include covering your mouth and nose with a tissue when coughing or sneezing, and proper disposal of the tissue in a trash bin. Coughing or sneezing into your upper sleeve near your inner elbow and not your hands when a tissue is not available. Avoiding the use of handkerchiefs and towels as they hold germs, becoming a nest for the virus. And frequently washing your hands with soap and water, which is listed as one of the most important steps you can take to avoid getting sick and passing the virus on to others. If you have any questions about how to practice good cough hygiene to avoid catching or spreading the flu, contact your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Abuse increases during a crisis. The physical, mental, and social issues that emerge from abuse affect us individually and as a community. Though meant to protect us, distancing measures can increase the risk of women and children to being abused. The lack of physical contact with loved ones and limited access to support services can increase a woman's risk of being abused. Abusers who drink frequently can be dangerous to women and children. If you've experienced abuse, contact a trusted friend or relative. Develop a safety plan. Choose a trusted person that can help get you to safety. Keep a to-go bag packed with important documents, medication, money, and other essentials. If you or a loved one are experiencing abuse, contact the Bahamas Crisis Center or the Royal Bahamas Police Force. You can also contact us at 819-7652 or 812-0576.
When a hurricane strikes, there are many critical needs to survival. Water is one of them. Access to clean water to drink, bathe, and wash things is often hard to come by, particularly in remote areas. While it's tempting to use whatever water is available, there are a few things that you should do to make sure that your drinking water is safe to consume or use. Boiling your water is one of them. Boiling water kills most pathogens that can be harmful. If your water is cloudy, filter it through a clean cloth or portable filter. You should boil filtered water for 1 minute, cool, and then store in a clean container with a lid. If boiling your water is not an option, you can disinfect it with bleach. Use 1/8 teaspoon or 8 drops per gallon, then let it stand for 30 minutes. Remember, this water should be stored in a clean container with a lid. Ensuring the highest level of food, animal, and plant safety in the Bahamas. This message is brought to you by the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Successful parenting through COVID-19. Being at home with your child for a long time can feel stressful, especially when they misbehave. Children can also feel stressed as their daily routines have changed. Manage negative behavior through creating schedules, planning indoor activities and outdoor activities, giving responsibilities, and rewarding good behavior. All children can be mischievous. You can discipline without yelling or physically harming by giving timeouts, taking away privileges, and even giving chores. It's okay to take a break. Pause for 10 seconds, breathe for 5 seconds, then give a calm response. Listen to your children's feelings and be supportive. Avoid unhealthy behaviors like drinking alcohol, smoking tobacco, or risky sexual behavior. Feeling overwhelmed? Contact our hotline at 819-7652 or any of the numbers that appear on your screen.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The Bahamas has qualified to compete in the COTAC Under-12 Girls Team Tennis Final this November in Mexico. The team of Brianna Hallgrave, Tatiana Madu, and Kayla Fox finished second in their group, with the top two teams moving on. Coach Marion Bain is happy with how the girls performed, but she knows it's not going to get any easier as they move on to a higher level of competition.
For us to go for the finals, the kids will have to play more matches, more tournaments to get them tournament tough, as this is the finals and we'll be up against tougher competitions than what we had in pre-qualifying. So it's just to prepare them mentally, make sure they get enough rest, they're eating right, less screen time. I know they have a lot of screen time because of school. Some kids are homeschool, and get enough rest.
Coach Bain also spoke about what it's been like competing in a COVID environment.
It has been tough because competition has not been the same. We have not competed since, I think, national for some people. Kayla and Tatiana might have played a match or so, a tournament or so leading up to this. Brianna had no previous match play or tournament play. So it has been a tough time for us adjusting. So going into the finals, we're hoping that we'll be able, there's a tournament in Freeport this October. They haven't gotten the approval as yet for the tournament. So keeping our fingers crossed, that would be one tournament that we'll be able to play and see if we could go away and play another tournament before we leave for Mexico.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Playing in the water can be loads of fun, but it can also be quite dangerous if all caution is thrown to the wind. Being alert and keeping an eye on young children and adolescents should always be priority. Here's how you can do it. Unfortunately, a lifeguard won't be at every beach and pool, so picking out someone to be the designated pool or beach watcher, especially when kids are around, is extremely important to lower risk of accidents in and around the water.
Whether it be in the sea or in the pool, you're going to make sure that everybody knows who the designated watcher is. And when you change over, if you're having an event that's lasting more than an hour or two, at least you can rotate out every 15 minutes and have 3 or 4 watchers set up. For an adult, any children at the age of 7, if they can swim, should still never be more than arm's reach apart. And when you have kids going through the Learn to Swim programs, we want to stay safe within them.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Digital Media.
Here, these for you. These must have got false bottom, because they look empty to me.
Not for long. You taking us shopping right now.
For what?
Things you're gonna need in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster.
We know when we had one hurricane around here.
That's it. We get 2 lakhs. It ain't only hurricane, we got to worry about, You know we could have tsunami, or we could have earthquake. And they don't give you no time to go shopping.
What kind of earthquake?
Scientists just find one faulty line over there by McGuana. And even though they say it's stationary, it's there. So we need to go and get our survival kit.
Like what?
What you mean, like what? Plastic bag to put your important papers in, like water, medication, flashlight, radio, canned goods, things you need, things you might need, just in case you can't get out of your house after a natural disaster. These 2 plastic containers, the children them could paint them up in their special colors so they could know what they're looking for when you send them to look for it.
That's one thing I like about you. You always ready.
Influenza, or the flu as it is commonly called, is a viral illness that usually occurs between the months October to March. The virus is transmitted from person to person through coughing, sneezing, or talking. Symptoms include fever, cough, headache, runny nose, generalized body aches, and fatigue. There is no specific treatment for the flu, and the symptoms usually dissipate after 3 to 7 days. Because it is caused by a virus, antibiotics are not used to treat the flu. Persons are encouraged to rest and drink lots of fluids. Panadol is recommended for fever and body aches associated with the flu. However, aspirin should be avoided due to the risk of bleeding. To decrease the spread of flu, persons are encouraged to get their flu shot annually and practice good cough hygiene. Additional information can be provided by your community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics very quiet this evening, but we do have this area we're looking at just to the east of Bahamas. That area of showers and thunderstorms could become a little better organized later in the week as an area of low pressure is expected to develop in that system. Troughing out of that right across the extreme southeast Bahamas, still firing up some showers around the Inagua area. Elsewhere, high pressure remains pretty much in control of our weather with some moderate winds over the next couple of days. Front boundary over northern Florida, that's going to slowly sink towards the south and east. That too will increase the chance of shower activity over the northwest Bahamas as we head into the latter part of this week. Tonight, though, we're going in for pockets of clouds and sunshine. Well, the isolated showers and turning partly cloudy. Low temperature getting down to 76 degrees. And tomorrow, we are looking at pockets of showers and thunderstorms once again with high temperature getting up to about 87 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, once again, they're going to be in the upper 80s, getting into the mid-80s over the weekend. That is when we expect that increase in shower activity and thunderstorms to take place as a result of that low pressure that could possibly develop to the east of the Bahamas. Nighttime temperatures, they're going to be in the mid to upper 70s with showers off and on right into Thursday.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.